everybody, Adam Steele from Hot Pole Studios here, and today we are at the guitar show in Birmingham, and we're chatting to everybody we can, getting hold of them, trying to do some interesting interviews and see what's new this year. Everybody's here. It's Chris Buck as well from Buck and Evans.
How's it going?
Not bad, yeah. Wasn't expecting to run into you, but I just want to shake your hand, sir. Because I think your playing's absolutely fantastic. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much, man. It's very kind of you.
I'm Adam Steele for Hot Pole Studios, and we're here being filmed by Mick from That Pedal Show. It's the noisiest place on earth. Usually I ask people lots of interview questions. I just wanted to shake your hand and be a fanboy for a second.
Awesome. No, that's today I'm more interested in camera auto stabilization than I am guitar pedals.
Bizarre, but yeah. You've got to be multi-skilled now, haven't you? So that is a lovely Ronin. Well, yeah, lovely to meet you and have a great day. Cheers. We're here with Jono from ACS Custom, and ACS Custom do hearing earplugs, but they also do some completely custom hearing protection solutions, don't you?
Yeah. So custom hearing protection and in-ear monitors, and we're one of the only manufacturers that actually make them out of a soft medical grade silicon. So the advantage of everybody's ears are different shapes and sizes, and they continue to grow and change shape as you get older because this is made of cartilage. So the only way to guarantee the fit, the comfort, the isolation, the attenuation and the frequency response in terms of hearing protection is to have a custom moulded mould, if you like, or sleeve made of the ear. Very simple process. We take a mould of the ear, it takes about 5 minutes. That goes back to our lab. We scan it with a laser, create a 3D model of the ear. Then we 3D print the reverse of that to make the mould, and then inject the silicone in to actually make the earpiece or the ear mould itself. And the same with in-ear monitors, which are basically, they're like fancy earphones, but they're custom moulded for your ears only. You probably see a lot of artists on the TV now, they're wearing these kind of like custom earphones. That's what we make. Again, comfort, isolation. You know, it's more of a pro audio earphone earpiece. And a lot of bands and a lot of artists, especially on tours and festivals, are wearing in-ear monitors now because it's easier to get the same monitor mix for every gig. But that's what we do. But in terms of hearing protection, we do an awful lot of work trying to raise awareness about hearing conservation in the music industry, but also in music education. Because unfortunately still a lot of young musicians don't realise that if you're exposed to loud sound pressure levels over long periods of time, you will damage your hearing, which could be temporary or it could be permanent. So if you're serious about sound, you really do need to play safe now so you can still hear tomorrow. That's what we do.
So, Jono, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Yeah, and hopefully we're going to do a video very soon where we show how easy it is to get these custom ear molds made, and how it really can affect how you're hearing. Like I use in-ear monitors all the time, but they're not custom and they fall out quite a lot. And I'm starting to notice now how
you're going to get a bit of leakage as well. Whereas with the custom mold, you're guaranteed that isolation and protection. So yeah, custom's the way to go, really. Yeah. And everybody's ears are different shapes and sizes, so a universal fit product won't fit everybody either. But yeah.
We're here with Paul from Zilla, my favourite cab manufacturer. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks.
The noisiest place on earth.
Yeah. I think I've lost my voice already.
I'm getting that way and I've only been here 10 minutes. That's a funky little setup. I really like this. Check that out. Genius. I love it. Anything new on the horizon for Zilla?
Yeah, we've got this one. Little flat response, full range. Well, not really. It's like a full range live response cab.
So that's the one with the FRFR speaker in it. The new Celestian thing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to do a demo of that myself, so maybe we'll have a chat at some point. I've got a Fat Baby I could stick it in, but hey, we'll see.
It's quite. We found it to be not as. I don't know how to say this. You need to get it in the right cab.
Okay.
We found that it's not just a case of being able to plonk it in any old cab. We found the X200. Yeah. We that's the first thing we did. Stick it in the mini stack.
And have you tried the new copper back as well?
Yeah, we've got them here as well.
What do you reckon to those? 250 watt speaker. You're never going to get that, are you?
Well, to be honest, we haven't been playing it that. We haven't had the opportunity to play it all that much. It's good. It's another kind of tool, another string in their bow, I guess you'd say. It's pretty clean. Celestion are known for the that vintage British early breakup and the heavier speakers, and it seems to be a good one to have in them.
We're here with Paul Flatley from Flatley Pedals. You may have seen the footage from last year when we first met Paul. We also have done an in-depth interview with him, which is on the channel, so check that out in the link above. How's this year been for you, Paul?
Really busy. It's started off really heavily busy. Just completed a signature pedal for Simon McBride here. You can see noodling in the background. Absolutely. So, and we've got a couple of new products ourselves with the Solaris Fuzz and the Solaris Pro Fuzz. And I'm also working with a range of signature series for a Swedish lady called Michelle Taylor. So we've been really up against it so far this year. So hopefully the trend will continue upwards. So we seem to be very popular here at Birmingham, making lots of noise like everybody else.
It's bloody loud, isn't it?
It is very, very loud, mate. Yeah.
Wonder if you'd be interested in making me a signature pedal.
Of course, mate. We make a signature pedal for anybody. As long as they're prepared to pay for it.
We're at the Smoothhound Innovations booth. So this pedal, what is this?
This is SIVA. So SIVA stands for Smoothhound Innovations Virtual Analog. It's a fully digital effects unit. But inside it, it's simulating circuit. It's not modelling them, it's simulating. There's a subtle difference.
Right, okay. That really sets it apart from a lot of the other virtual stuff then.
Yeah, I think so. So, it's got in there, it's got the circuit diagram of, here I've got the various different overdrive pedals that it's simulating.
Right, okay.
So it simulates them. It's different from, we haven't bought these things and measured them. What we've done is found the circuit diagrams on the internet and simulated them.
Right, okay.
And the result is that. So if I turn a rattle. So that's a rat simulation. This is a big muff.
Definitely sounds like a fuzz face.
OCD. So you get the feel of it. Everything from we've got
There doesn't seem to be any latency either, which is always a big deal with digital stuff. It's worth noting you're on a wireless here that's direct into the pedal. That I've not seen before.
No, I don't think it's been done before because I designed the wireless. It never goes analog out of the wireless, so it's digitized here, and then all the processing is done before it goes back to analog again. I think it's the first one that does that.
Yeah, so it's completely wireless and virtual modeling. That's new. Yeah. Maybe we should talk about trying to get one of these on our channel for a full demo at some point, because that would be well worth it, I think. here with Steve from Marshall, and what's new this year, Steve?
Yeah, we've got the new Studio range of amps. This one here is a Studio Classic. There's also a Studio Vintage, and the idea behind it is to sort of bring the old vintage classic Marshalls that everybody knows and loves, but in a more portable, smaller, lower wattage package, really. So the Studio Classic is basically a JCM 800, but instead of having a big 100-watt head, you've got a 20-watt, smaller head with all the same features, essentially. So you can run this 20 watts or 5 watts, made in the UK, all valve, various speaker options. So it's on a 212 cabinet, which has Celestion V-types in there. You can get a 112 if you prefer, and there's also a combo version of the amp, which is essentially the same thing but with a single 10-inch speaker. So that's the Studio Classic. Over the other side, we've got the Studio Vintage, which again, another iconic Marshall. It's based on the 1959 SLP, which is a plexi, and again, 20 watts or 5 watts, all valve, made in the UK. Same valves. You've got 3 ECC 83s in the preamp, pair of EL34s in the power. The Vintage is probably a little bit more useful being lower wattage because there's no master volume and separate gain on those. You just have to turn them up loud to get them to sound good. But again, same options with the speakers. You can get a 2x12 cabinet for that, single 12-inch, and again a combo, which is a single 10. Basically, we did experiment with smaller valves, or output valves, and the obvious one would have been to try an EL84 or something like that, but it just lost that characteristic of having the full-size output stage. So it's basically running on less power. The voltage is lowered to the tubes, if you like, to the valves. Sorry, we're in England now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We're here with Matt from Monty's Guitars, and you are looking very dapper, sir.
Well, I like to try. I do try.
So, Monty's Guitars, what is it that Monty's Guitars do?
Well, we do lots of things, but it all stems from the workshop, which is the heart of Monty's. I started 20 years ago as a tech luthier kind of apprentice, and I went from the off. I was working on like some really high-end stuff. I started a guitar shop called Chandler Guitars, and at that point we had people like Pete Townsend, Dave Gilmour, that kind of thing coming through. So when I was actually allowed to start on people's customers' guitars and not just the shop ones, it was actually one of Dave Gilmour's Baby Taylors that was my first one that I started on. Anyway, so just kept doing that, learning, and then went and started my own thing. And I was quite lucky. Guitar repairers are a bit like hairdressers. Once you find one you like, you stick with them. And now some of the guys that were there, that I was doing work for there, have now become, guys in the industry and everything. But I always wanted to start products and stuff, and from the workshop and seeing all the crazy guitars that come through. So you've got old Les Pauls and 335, 62 Strats, that kind of thing. I managed to develop, first of all, pickups, which we could recreate that vintage tone accurately, and I've been able to, and fortunate enough to be able to take all this stuff apart, analyze it, because they don't all sound the same, do they?
No, they do not.
There's, they're all a bit different. So it's find the ones that speak to me and then recreate those, and that's what we do. We also make pedals, we fix pedals, we make amps, we fix amps, we build guitars, pedal boards. We deal a lot with bands that come through London, so they'll literally like fly into Heathrow and then just dump stuff off with us. We'll fix it real quick and then they'll go off again. But we'll also fix, little Johnny who's just started, we'll restring his guitar for him. So it's kind of everything, man.
Fantastic. So, we'll definitely direct people London-based your way. Yeah. But in terms of the wider reach, that's the product, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, talk me through what's new, what's interesting to you, what you've just come out with.
Well, we've kind of categorized everything, which is, I know it sounds a bit boring, but so we've got our original series of stuff, which is those recreations. We've got Montified stuff, which is our twist on things. So, for example, we've made a clone of a Russian Big Muff. Then found some mods we could do to it, tweak that, and then the first one we're going to stick into a tank, which is that tank down there. But that's a charity thing, so we're going to auction that off. We've got just opened the Department of Components, which is basically our looms, and we've got some old Russian caps I managed to find in the deepest, darkest internet. Loads of those kind of things, so little bits and bobs. We've got cleaning products, so we've just launched our instrument food, which is it's like lemon oil but better. So you put it onto the wood and it just locks all the moisture in, keeps it nice and dark. What else? We've got guitars coming out. We've got more pedals. There's tons of stuff all the time. I run with every crazy idea I have, basically.
Here with Alan from Vox. Alan, what's new for Vox of last year or so?
Okay, well today we have a couple of new products. We've got the mini Super Beetle here, which is a beautiful little mini stack for, perfect for the man cave. It has new tube power, 50 watts here. 25 watts using this cab, but 50 watts if you have a bigger cab. And also we have something that's been asked about for a long time, which is the AC30 S1 or AC30-112. Basically, this is a lighter, lower cost 1x12 AC30 with a simpler panel layout here, and it's just a great gigging amp. It's easy to get around, sounds amazing, plug in and play, single channel. Basically, the sound of Vox in a lightweight package that most people can afford on a budget, and that's about it. Really, that's the new gear here. So come and check it out.
Here with the guys from Orange to talk about their newest platform, which very much interests me, the Pebble Baby, and anything else that's new. But talk to me about the Pebble Baby.
Okay, so the Pebble Baby is a 100-watt solid-state Class AB power amp that's designed specifically for guitarists who use just a pedal board or a modelling processor of some kind. They don't need all the other parts of an amp. They just need 100 loud watts. They need it clean, and they need it good, and they need it to work. So the idea is, you turn up to a gig that's got hired cabs or something, and you just plonk that on the top, and you're ready to rock. All your sounds are already dialed in. You know that you've just got something reliable, simple, and quick to use. It's never going to let you down. What we've also got is the Trembler 30, which is an all-valve 1x12 combo, 30 watts, EL84. It uses totally valve-driven tremolo, totally valve-driven reverb, totally valve-driven effects loop. And the cool thing that I don't think is on any other amps that are around is you've got 2 foot switchable tremolo speeds. So there's no more leaning over to your amp to mess with stuff in the middle of the set. Set a fast one, set a slow one, and you're ready to rock.
It's nearly the end of the show, and everyone seems to have had a beer, so the volume has gone up significantly. Hope you enjoyed the footage, and hopefully we're going to get some of the products that we've seen in the studio very soon. Thanks for watching. Animal Steel Volpole Studios, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, feel free to check out our other videos, as you can find here, or check out our Facebook and Twitter, or our Patreon page, which helps us to make more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.